Hey everyone, it's HaruInKorea, and today I just wanted to talk about Korean drivers, how come I'm almost dead a billion times, and what you need to look out for if you come to Korea. Okay, first off, I would just like to say that I'm speaking from my experience because I live in Seoul, and I'm sure different parts of Korea, like the drivers are different and they're not as crazy, but in Seoul, from what I've noticed, the Korean drivers are very impatient and they're always in a rush to get somewhere, and they do illegal activities all the time. Okay, for example, like I always see people running red lights. Like in Korea, to me, like red lights and stop signs and any type of sign that applies to driving that you would usually follow doesn't apply here. It's just a suggestion. Like if you want to follow it, you can. If you don't, well then you don't have to. Like I see people passing red lights all the time, and sometimes we'll even see like a police officer like in his car sitting right there, and he literally does nothing, and I just look at him like, are you not gonna do your job? Like, why are you just sitting there? Go give this guy a ticket. But I guess in Korea that's normal for people to just pass stop signs and stop lights and everything like that. And another thing that I've noticed is I've never seen any speed limit signs. I mean, I don't drive in Korea, so maybe I just haven't been looking for them, but I have not seen one. And I'm sure even if I did, that would also just be a suggestion, because I feel like sometimes when I'm walking and I feel like I'm in an area where drivers should not be going that fast, well, these drivers are literally zooming down the road, and I'm just like, is this a highway? Like, how can you be going that fast? Why is this okay? Like, if I were to just fall in the road on accident, like slip or something, like, there would be no hope for me. Like, this car coming wouldn't have time to stop. It's so crazy. Like, I guess I'm just not used to cities, but to me, it's crazy. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is like crosswalks. So first off, crosswalks, like the red light is really short and the green light is super, super long. So you're usually standing there for a long time before you can go. And then when you finally do have the light, it takes like you only have so much time to get across the street. Like in America, I feel like, I mean, I don't come from a big city in America either. I live in Bloomington, Indiana, so maybe big cities it's different. But like, you know the little countdown for the walk sign? And like when it gets to 0, if you're in the middle of the street in America, that's okay because there's like a delay in the signal and like you have enough time to get to the other side of the street, so you're fine. If you are in the middle of the street when it gets to 0 in Korea, like I'm gonna pray for you because a car might hit you, because those cars are not gonna wait. Like they'll honk at you, they'll start speeding, like you better get out the way. So if you see the crosswalk number getting down super low, don't try to run. I would just suggest waiting until the next time because there's no delay in the signal and you could get hit by a car. The program that I'm on has actually told me that a few people have gotten hit by cars before during the years they've been doing this program, so that's kind of scary, so you might want to be careful. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is like cars that drive on sidewalks, or like places that you think are sidewalks are not sidewalks and they are actually like streets. So sometimes when I'm walking down this what I think is a sidewalk, but I guess it's both, like because there's like shops set up along it and like everybody's walking in the middle of this sidewalk and like everything's normal and you're talking to your friends and then you just hear this honk honk and I'm like, what is going on here? Like, why is somebody honking at me? This is a sidewalk, why? And then you turn around and there's this car that's very impatiently like driving behind you, like about to nudge you forward, and I'm just like, is this normal? Like, and then I look around and I guess I see like there's enough space for it to be a street. So I'm like, okay, I understand, and like I get out of the way. But literally sometimes I have been on places that are sidewalks. Like there's no way in the world like the place I'm walking on isn't a sidewalk. And people still are driving on these sidewalks, and I'm just like, I have no words to explain my confusion at why I see cars on the sidewalk. I'm like, why? And like they even park on the sidewalk and I'm just like, I don't understand what this is. It really confuses me. Okay, another thing is, I don't know if this really applies as much to driving, but in Korea there's like every place and every restaurant you can think of delivers, and so they have like little motorcycle drivers that like will deliver the food to you, and like that's super convenient and I love it. But if you're walking on the street, like these motorcycle drivers are probably even more crazy than like the normal drivers who are in cars. Like they like ride on the sidewalk all the time, and like they like zoom in and out of like you, and like they literally, you have no space between you and like the motorcycle basically. Like they could hit you if you accidentally just moved over a little bit. Like I've never seen it happen, but it just, I feel like it's probably happened plenty of times because these motorcycle drivers are in such a rush to get that McDonald's to that one person who needs McDonald's at that time. And I'm just like, why are you rushing? I feel like in America, like delivery drivers take their sweet time getting to the place. But in Korea, like that delivery driver acts like if he doesn't get that McDonald's to that person at that exact time, like they're gonna murder him or something. Like it's like a life or death situation. Like he zooms down the sidewalk so quickly, and I'm just sitting there staring like, I almost just died. Like I've seen my life pass before me about a billion times since I've been in Korea. Like I know that sounds unreasonable, but I mean, I've almost gotten hit by motorcycles. Even when the light is red, I've almost gotten hit by buses. Like if I'm on the side of the sidewalk that's close to the street and like I almost tip over a little bit, like I've almost gotten hit so many times. So just be super careful if you ever come to Korea because these drivers are crazy. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is taxi drivers. Like there's nothing wrong with taxi drivers, but before you get in a taxi, I would just like, if you saw the taxi like pull up really quick and do some crazy maneuvers or whatever, don't pick that taxi driver. I would go find the next taxi driver who looks like he's following the rules, and I would get in that taxi and go with that one. Because I've gotten in some crazy taxis before and it doesn't seem very safe. Like the taxi drivers are like in such a rush to get you to your destination so that they can pick up another person. So I mean, I would just make sure that the taxi driver you get, like you kind of inspect him, kind of look and see what he's doing first before you get in the car. Because I've had some really great taxi drivers and like they're like cautious drivers. I was like, yes, I did a good job today. I picked the right driver. And then other times I've had crazy ones where I've almost gotten like hit because they are just rushing and speeding past red lights. And I'm just like, never again. I don't even want to pay the taxi driver because I'm so mad because he almost killed me 10 times. He should be paying me because I probably have whiplash from all the crazy moves he's doing. So yeah, just be careful at the taxi driver you pick. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. And yes, I was dramatic sometimes and I over-exaggerated, but in all reality, a lot of Korean drivers are kind of crazy. They're always in a rush and they're really impatient sometimes. So if you ever come to Korea, just make sure to look out for that and be super, super, super careful because it might be different than what you're used to in your country. But if you liked that video and would like to see more videos, make sure to press the subscribe button and I will see ya!